I was watching there going, this is a Danny Boy Collins from 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's amazing, you know, and that's a real honour. I think guys that I grew up watching in this country and idolising, so like Doug Williams, Johnny Storm, Jodie Fleisch, the UK Pitbulls as well, Thunder, people like that. That was to grow up, and Ricky Knight, you know, so to grow up and call their matches, you know, that is something that no one can ever take away from me. That's an honour for me.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned some of those names like Johnny Storm, Jodie Fleisch. Man, they're another two. They don't look like they miss a beat. I can't believe Jodie Fleisch is like a freak of nature right now. I mean, he's like I mean, the way he looks amazing, and he's still doing the most, you know, crazy stuff you'll ever see. And you're like, this guy just doesn't know how to slow down.
I know.
I can't believe it. This shouldn't happen. You know, guys, you often tell guys when they first start, don't go too fast. Don't do all the high spots. Don't do all these things. But Jodie Fleisch is just in another dimension to himself. I really believe that. And the fact that he's still going. I don't know if you follow him on social media, but he's been putting out these videos where he's doing all these crazy exercises in his like front room, in his kitchen area, using like adapted equipment. And I'm just waiting for the video to come out where he's going to spring into the lampshade or something. And
he's in incredible shape as well now.
Oh, he is amazing. Yeah.
And the fact that he can still all that kind of stuff, as well. It's just absolutely amazing. Going back to like things like, you know, any people like to call matches for and things like that. Sure. One moment I'm really proud of, actually. When I was doing, I think it was Stone Market Slam 2 for World War Wrestling. So I was emceeing the show, and we were doing an angle with Danny Blaze, Scrubber Daly, and Tony Stewart. Right. And just to be able to introduce Stewart and Scrubber Daly, and for them to stand up and everyone give them a standing ovation.
Sure.
You know, that's something and to meet them afterwards as well, and they're such lovely guys, and they really praise my work as well and things like that.
Yeah.
That's a moment that I really, you know, that really touches me as well, to be honest with you.
Absolutely, yeah. No, a lot of names there, mate. A lot of flashbacks there going on in my head with all these people. No doubt about it. Now, before we end up wrapping up this podcast, and this has gone quick, by the way, I have to say. I don't know if it's just because we've just been chatting and reminiscing here a lot of the old times, I'm sure. But some of the projects you're working on now, what are they, and how have you been able to adapt with the whole lockdown scenario? Are you still finding things to do and getting as creative as possible at the moment?
Trying to, without going too crazy. So been keeping busy, helping out with some website stuff for certain promotions. So been helping updating the roster bios for EWW, and big support as well. Do you know what? Any friends out there that run promotion stuff, if they put out any content, you know, always happy to share their content as well. So got friends down up in Lincolnshire, Fight Factory Wrestling, good friends of Hayden and Becca. So anything that they put out there, I always plug. So big up to those guys. Triumph Pro Wrestling, you know, the Rebellion, who I consider two very, very young guys that are fantastic at what they do. You know, they're still in their early stages of, you know, putting on shows, but God bless them. I say they're good guys to be around. World War Wrestling, we just crowned the tag team champions. Which the Rebellion won. They had a fantastic match with the Hit Set. So that, if you haven't seen it, go out of your way to watch it. That's really good. EWW's just started a new YouTube archive series, so subscribe to those. I'm in the middle of doing some post audio work for Genesis Professional Wrestling, based in Scotland, for Mr. John Moores. So there's a couple of there's some projects that I've got in mind. It's just whether I can put them, try and make them work or not. But we'll see. If it doesn't happen straight away, you know, never say never.
No, you just you keep trying these things. That's all you can do. And certainly
absolutely,
a lot of
So anything that's out there, you know, anything that I'm enjoying, I'm plugging and sharing away. An old British legend, Stevie Knight, has now got his podcast back.
Yes, I listened to it the other day, actually.
That's a little plug there, Steve. So, never met Steve, actually, but he was a guy that I used to watch, another one I used to watch growing up, especially on the UWA show.
He was brilliant on the mic, by the way.
Fantastic.
He was fantastic. I mean, he was, that stuff he done in the FWA as well, that run he had.
Yeah.
And I remember he had a segment with Colt Cabana once as well, which was good. It might have been British Uprising 3, actually. I'm sure Colt Cabana done that there with him when they were just in the ring.
He's going to love this, He's going to love this and all this praise and stuff. So.
No, he doesn't get talked about that much. And
no, he doesn't.
He's one of those forgotten gems. And I mean, he was a tremendous worker, first and foremost, but his character, he really knew his character. Like, he was fantastic. And those backstage segments he used to do. I remember the run where he was trying to find a tag team partner, and they'd give him somebody different every time, and that was just hilarious. Some of those segments, but yeah, he's definitely. I was kind of like, he'd kind of fallen off my radar for some time, and then I saw his podcast crop up, and I was like, is that the same one? Or is this a new guy? And then, I got listening. I was like, it's him again. He's back. So, quite happy to hear that old familiar voice.
Yeah. As well as that, Stu Allen has a podcast as well, Stiff Right Hand. So check that out as well, guys. So I do work for. So check out my home promotions, EWW Pro Wrestling on social media, World War Wrestling as well. Please check those out, and their website worldwarwrestling.com. I do some work for the SOS and UWA as well, the School of Slam in Harwich. Do check them out on social media. Falling Star Wrestling, DOA Wrestling as well, based in Great Yarmouth. They're fun shows to do. So I'm around here and there. I mean, I did sort of kind of contemplate not doing as much next year, but it's things like the lockdown actually that make you realise what you miss the most, to be quite honest.
I think so. I think it's a good time for reflection.
It is. It really is. And we'll have to hook up again at some point, John, as well, actually.
Oh, yeah, we will do. Now, before you go, make sure you tell us where we can find you as well, my friend, on your social media tags and all the rest of it and handles.
All right, so I'm just Jake Pugh on Facebook. Unless you're weird, don't have me.
Heard that one a few times.
At RCWA Jake Ryan on Twitter, because RCWA was the first place where I started out from, and just for nostalgia, Jim Ross, JR purposes, I call myself Jake Ryan. And I'm on Instagram as well with Jake Pugh. So
Cool. Thank you very much for this, man. It's been good chatting to you. I think I've gone through a lot of nice history there. It's been a pleasant change, because the last few guests I've had, they've made me feel like a granddad. I tell you, it's been crazy, and I feel like I'm their teacher half the time when we talk about old stuff. But it's been good to reminisce the same experiences and talk about them at least with you. So it's been cool. It's been fun.
Yeah, I've got my carer coming in a moment to change the nappies. So.
That's it. We're both off to do that now. For people that don't know, that's where we're going. That's why we've got to finish this up quick now. But no, thank you very much, my friend. And yes, hopefully once this is done with, I will definitely see you down the road, and we'll be able to do something similar in person, which will be cool at some point. But thank you again, my friend.
Thank you, John. I've loved it. Right. Cheers, mate.
And stay safe, my friend.
You too.